Alright guys, in this video we're going to be talking about solving and checking equations. So with equations we always have a standard setup with these types of problems. We're going to have some variable and something's going to be done to it, and on the opposite side of the equal sign we're going to have some other arithmetic or equation or something to solve. So in my first example we have x plus 2 equals 4 times 2. So the first thing that we want to do is make things easy for yourself. And the way that you can do that is solve for the side you know. So for this we're going to do x plus 2 equals 4 times 2 is 8. That's your first step. Make the one side easy to solve for instead of having different parts. Now what we're going to do is try to get the variable alone. Now that's the main goal and objective with equations. We're trying to solve for this unknown, and in order to do it we're going to undo whatever is being done to the variable. So in order to undo addition we're going to subtract. So what I mean by that is 2 is being added to x. So to undo that we're going to subtract 2 from that. But here's the rule and the catch. If you're going to subtract or undo to get your equation variable by itself, you have to do the same thing to both sides of your equal sign. It's kind of like a rule or a law. It's kind of illegal if you don't. You can do anything in math with equations as long as you do it to both sides. So think of it like a balance scale. You do one thing to one side, to keep it balanced you have to do it to the other. So now what we're going to do is we're going to see how this simplifies. This plus 2 and this minus 2 are going to cancel. And the reason for that is plus 2 minus 2 is 0. So if we were to put this plus 0 here just as a placeholder, we're going to get 8 minus 2 is 6. Now that we've subtracted 2 from both sides, x plus 0 is 6. And because you have the identity of adding 0, x is directly equal to 6. That's the first part. Now that we solved for our unknown, now let's check. To check, all I have to do is take my unknown value that I solved for and plug it into the original equation. So I have 6 plus 2 equals 4 times 2. And then go ahead and just do the arithmetic on each side. So 6 plus 2 is 8. 4 times 2 is 8. And it checks. Okay? Let's look at another one. Okay. Let's look at m plus 16 equals 24 divided by 1. Okay. So, again, do the side you know. 24 divided by 1, or anything divided by 1, is itself. So we have m plus 16 equals 24. Now again, we're going to add 16 to m. So to undo that, we're going to subtract 16. But we have to do it to both sides. And again, what this is going to do is m plus 16 minus 16, that's going to cancel. And you're going to have the plus 0 identity. The plus 0 identity just means that when you add 0 to anything, it's going to be what it originally was. So m plus 0 is m. Then you have 24 minus 16, which is indeed 8. Now go ahead and plug this in. If you have 8 plus 16 is 24, and that does definitely equal 24 divided by 1. Alright, let's do another one. Okay, now this one, we're gonna, again, follow the same steps. Number one, do the side you know. So 15 times 2 is 30. So rewriting that just to show the algebra. 15 times 2. 5 times 2 is 10. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. So now we have n minus 6 equals 30. Now again, we're trying to get the variable n by itself, okay? So in all of these problems, the goal is to get the value, or the unknown that we are solving for by itself equaling one thing. So we're trying to get rid of all of the numbers that are attached to it in any way, shape, or form. So I'm going to add 6 to both sides, and I'm going to get n is equal to 36. These will cancel. 30 plus 6 is 36. Now go ahead and fill that in to check. You fill in 36 for n, minus 6 equals 15 times 2. 36 is 30. 36 minus 6 is 30. 15 times 2 is indeed 30. Okay? Let's do one more. And again, it's not that bad, just remember the steps that you're taking. The first step is do the side you know, make it equal to one thing, and then the next step is just to undo what is being done to the variable by doing the opposite. Okay? So let's look at this one. Times 3 6 times 4. Okay, so n times 3 equals 6 times 4. Do the side you know. And again, doing the side that you know just makes things a lot easier on yourself. So n times 3 is equal to 24. 6 times 4 is 24. Now, unlike the last two, it's not being added or subtracted, it's being multiplied by 3. So the inverse of multiplying by 3 is dividing by 3. Now this is going to bring another identity. If these 3 and 3 can cancel out, because if you think about it, 3 divided by 3, or anything over itself, is 1. So you're basically going to have 1n. Now the identity of 1 times anything is itself. So again, this 1 here can be a placeholder or just to signify that the variable is by itself. But then we're going to divide 3 on the other side because we have to do it to both sides to keep it balanced. 24 divided by 3 is 8. So 1n equals 8 and n equals 8. Okay? Now again, check your answer. Make sure that it works. 8 times 3 equals 6 times 4. And 8 times 3 is 24. 6 times 4 is indeed 24. Okay? Okay. Alright, so let's review and recap the steps that we can take to solve these equations in a systematic way for each time that we see these types of problems. So, 1. Do the arithmetic of the side you know. Number 2. Once you have the right side equaling one value, undo anything that is being done to the variable. So, undo what is being done to the variable by doing the opposite. Okay? And remember, to undo addition, you can subtract. To undo multiplication, we divide. Remember, you must do the operation to both sides of the equal sign. Okay? So again, making it like a balance scale, we're going to have, if we're going to add 2 to this side, we have to add 2 to this side. If we're going to divide by 20 on this side, we have to divide by 20 to keep it balanced. Alright, last but not least, number 4, after you solve for your unknown, check by putting it back into the original expression, replacing the value you solved for your variable. And when you do that, as long as each side is the same and they equal the same value, you've done it correctly, okay? But then number 4 is very important because it allows you to go back over your work and plug in and make sure that each of the steps that you took gave you the right value for the unknown, okay? But if you guys have any questions, again, never hesitate to contact me. And then, like I said, this is a systematic approach. We can do this for any type of equation that we're given. Alright? And then, if you guys have any questions, never hesitate to contact me. I hope you enjoyed this video, and take care of yourselves, okay? Thanks for watching.